All right. So I'm not really going to keep this a live stream or go as a live stream on this one. I'm checking tarps down here at the hay pile. And the video I did this morning on this channel was, was more of what I was thinking and what was on my mind rather than ag talk. Hey there, how you doing? Paul, right? Paul Freeman. More than an actual honest to God talking about agriculture here on my channel. So let me sit down here in this pile of hay while I readjust here. The reason for that is that if I told the real truth, I get all these fucking these naysayers saying that, I don't know what I'm talking about. And I get the emails and stuff, and I kind of get the hint that this isn't the type of agricultural channel that they really want out there. YouTube doesn't want it out there. Other farming channels don't want it out there. They really don't. I got an email from another farming channel in the 50,000 subscriber range saying that I'm just a negative son of a bitch that should leave YouTube, which to me doesn't make any difference. I don't give a flying fuck what that individual thinks, because you know what? The real truth is right now that agriculture is shitty. I have proof of this for a couple of I can prove it. I got total proof of it. I'm buying a new baler and I'm buying a new stack wagon, right? So baler and you buy a new stack wagon, the price of a new baler is like $230,000. It's insane. A stack wagon is like $140,000, right? So you've got this incredibly insane level of money going out all the time, and in order to do that, well, if I need $275,000 or so to produce, $400,000. Okay, so I'm back. The fucking retard decided he would call me. Because he's retarded. So, listen, you do all this stuff. It wasn't a salesman that called me. I, in passing, had talked to the store manager, and the store manager actually called me, and the deals were struck through the store manager. I never even spoke with a salesman. So I talked to him for a little bit, and I'm not going to say who it is or what it was, but you'll know sooner or later. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Said the dairy industry is in the toilet, so dairy farmers aren't spending any money because they have none. They're not paying their bills. Crop farmers, they're pulling back. They're not spending any money on tractors and combines and other implements of agriculture because the money isn't there to do that. It just isn't there. So when I talk about the doom and gloom of agriculture, it's actually the God's honest truth. When you watch other farming channels and they talk about the beauties of farming, they really need to get serious about, hey, yes, marketing is very important and forward contracting is very important and all this other stuff, but you can only go like, well, I guess you could forward contract a couple, 3 years if you're, strategically thinking, and anybody that has done that for higher than what grain is worth right now, which isn't too many people, but they do it more than a year out or a season out. No, there's no mega dairies in New Jersey. There was one down here in South Jersey, but he's pretty much out now. But even to say that the mulch hay business is doing well, it's not. The price is stable, but it hasn't increased in 5 years until this year. I partnered with another company, another composting company, and I got $5 a ton more. Well, in the end, it equals about $30,000 more in a year. But that doesn't make up for the increase of fuel, fertilizer, and equipment, and the cost of living, and the help that it takes to get this job done. So, yes, I'm still going to plant some corn. The funny thing is, 5 years ago, if I walked into, say, Farm Credit, which I usually do my business through Farm Credit, unless there's a better deal through, say, CNA or Deere Country or John Deere, Farm Credit would say, "Oh, okay, this is what you're going to do. Tell us what your projections are for the coming year, and we'll give you the money." And that's how it works. Well, this go around, they're like, "Oh, you're looking for $275,000, and you're only, with this $275,000 worth of equipment that you're going to purchase, you're only going to be making $400,000 more than you did the year before." Well, okay, $400,000 more. That's $400,000 more income than I did the year before at a minimum. And they're bulking on giving me the money, which I found to be amazing. Well, the truth of the matter is, they're not getting paid from the people that they loan money to. I pay my bill monthly. I mean, I pay my bill to them monthly. It's an operating loan. And that's, operating loan and what the hell was it? The equipment loan for something that I had. Oh, with the big baler, the Krone. And so I've got this, but I pay my bill every month. I'm not late. I just pay the bill, right? So they're bulking on it, but it'll go through, I'm sure. This is why I still run own stuff when it takes a shit. I don't owe machinery companies anything. Well, that's not the problem, owing a machinery company. I mean, if it takes a shit, I have warranties on the new stuff. But the deal is, when you're going to expand your business by 1/3, literally expand the business by 1/3, and they don't even want to give you the money that it's going to take to expand your business on something you actually have a contract for, a written contract that states, when one lonely farmer is going to produce 30,000 bales of straw for said company, and he will be paid X number of dollars to do so. And it's in their hands, and they're like, well, we're not really sure. Well, I mean, come on, give me a fucking break. It's not like it's more than what I projected to make in that said year. It's only, it's a little more than half of what I'm said to make in that said year. And the loan is for 5 years. So I have this contract that is going to be an ongoing thing plus I'm not quitting what I'm doing. But anyway, so the state of agriculture really sucks. The equipment companies aren't selling anything. The baler that I have made the deal with is actually a 2017 model, brand new, sitting on the lot. They could not sell it. So they're willing to wheel and deal and make a bargain. The bargain is that a brand new baler is like $230,000. The 2017 or the 2016 that I purchased, which was a 2016 model, I paid $173,000 for it. This 2017 leftover, I will pay $11,000 less for that one than I will the first Krone that I bought, and it is a Krone. So, yeah. Oh yeah, equipment's going up. The equipment is going up. It's not getting any cheaper, and that's where, and here's another thing that we can talk about here. I know my dad's probably going to be looking for me here in a minute. I got to finish strapping this load down. But another thing is, the dollar isn't worth what it used to be worth. With all this other stuff going up, and of course we're producing more corn to the acre and more soybeans and more wheat and more barley and more per the acre, but the inputs are going higher and higher and higher. It costs more and more and more. But then when corn goes down to around $3.25 a bushel, what do you got? $3.25 a bushel, we had that in 1980. 1980, when you could buy ammonium sulfate for $30 a ton spread. I mean, that's it. So if you want the real ag talk in the raw, this is it. If you're trying to get into agriculture, rethink your life, because it is an up and down roller coaster that isn't for the weak of heart. Watching YouTube videos that glorify agriculture, where everything is peachy keen and everything works out at the end of the year, everything's done, and yay, I made a few dollars, is not the actual reality of agriculture. You see these tarps that I play around with here? I've got like $25,000 worth of these fucking things. Nah, I don't have that much. Let's say $15,000. I got about 15, and that's honest. That's a $15,000 deal in tarps. 99% of mulch hay growers that are out here in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, and New York do not put up tarps. The quality of the product that's going into these composters and mushroom farms is shit. It is absolute shit. I actually got a compliment the other day, Carl did, when he took that load down there, as to thank you for keeping up the quality. I will not rethink it's a dream. Well, no, I'm not. Hey, listen, if you're into the ups and downs of agriculture, like you're really into the stress and the heartburn and the wondering if you're going to be able to pay your bills, hey, jump right in. I mean, the water's warm. Right now it's cooling off, but I mean, it's heating up. I should say it's heating up. But yeah, agriculture's tough. It's always been tough. It's always going to be tough. And years like this will separate the men from the boys. The people that really are dedicated to doing it will survive. The ones that were in it for the money rush, because let's face it, since 2008, 9, 10, grain prices have been pretty strong. Right now, whoo, you know, it's frigid, man. Hemp will save everybody. That's what everybody's telling me. If you aren't in on the hemp right now, you are not going to make any money in hemp. If you're on the ground floor, it's just like me going and baling straw. I'm not the first one in, but I'm not going in there with the idea of going for a little bit. I'm going in for the whole enchilada. And if I end up with 10 balers rolling across those fields down there in 5 years, then so be it. I will become a custom baling operation and continue, because it's only 6 weeks. It's 6 weeks of hell. And then continue to come up here to New Jersey and bale hay. That's what I'm gonna do, because that's my life. It's what I like to do. So anyways, I guess I've ranted on enough. This is the truth about agriculture. If you like it, fine. If you don't like it, you can kiss my ass. And if you watch some of these other channels that are, you know, just goofballing it, saying, oh, everything's great, just go see who actually owns those places. You know, like, go see who actually owns those things. You know, that equipment, that whose nuts are in the sling at the end of the year. Is it the guy with the camera in his hand, or is it mom and dad? And you know, to be quite honest with you, and I've always told everybody this, I don't own this farm, but I own everything that runs this farm, and that's the truth. So when you get somebody else that's out there and can say, hey, I own the operation, which I do, I own the operation, and everything's perfect, and I'm making millions of dollars doing this, then kudos to them. I mean, I do okay. I get my bills paid. Am I rich? I'm rich at heart. Do I love my life? Absolutely. But do I have heartburn and stress? I certainly do. So anyways, with that being said, I'm gonna walk over here to this truck, and I'm gonna finish strapping that down after talking with you fellas. This thing, what the hell? This does not look quite right. What is this? That shouldn't be like that. Well, I'll have to come down. I gotta get a super cinch. But these are all pretty tight. Anyway, yeah, so making farming great. Making farming great. What would make farming great? You know, I think if politics got out of agriculture, it would be great. I know a lot of guys are like, oh, you talk politics, you talk politics. Well, without politicians, farming would be a lot easier, because politicians use farmers as pawns in their big game. You know, hey, tariffs against China. What's China do? Fuck the farmer. Well, we fuck the farmer. We can fuck the farmer a little bit harder every time. But a smart farmer plans for these types of things, and you know, hopefully can weather the storms and move on or move into better things. But anyways, the farmers will always farm and produce a crop. We love to grow stuff, you know, and if farmers had the choice of being able to sell to other countries without political involvement, which we don't, but if we were able to do it without political involvement, we would be much better off. Oh God, yeah, farmers cut each other's throat. But the fact of the matter is, right now, these low corn prices is because of tariffs and, of course, Donald Trump putting tariffs against, which I don't disagree with the tariffs. What I disagree with is that they're allowing the farmers to take the brunt of this. The guy in the city down the road here, he's not feeling any pain. He's got cheap food. He's actually kind of happy about it. Maybe he'll get a little better quality television in the end. What do they care? You know, if the price of grain and beef and pork and everything, poultry, went through the roof, whereas a turkey would now cost 5 times what it was before, maybe there'd be some love to the farmer, you know, but that isn't going to happen because, you know, hey, we built this country and this country's going to break us eventually. So if you think talking about agriculture should be all sugar coated and everybody should be handled with kid gloves and everything is good, you're wrong. And that's just the fact of it. Is that it will take forever to get back in line when it eventually go. Well, here's the fucked up thing. You really want to know the truth about this tariff and this grain? There's no less grain sold overseas. Let me get this out of the way. There's no less grain sold overseas. China says, hey, we're not buying your soybeans. So what did they do? They went and bought it from somewhere else. And I've said this before. They bought it from, say, Brazil, Argentina, or whatever, or somewhere else. They bought soybeans. So okay, where did this extra 80 million bushels of freaking soybeans come from? Was it like conjured up by Dumbledore? Or was it, you know, did it just sprout up out of the ocean so that the tankers or the vessels can pick it up and harvest it on their way to China? Well, fuck no, it didn't. They canceled contracts to other parts of the world. Okay, so, and it was kind of amazing. So China says, we're not going to buy your beans. We're not going to buy your corn. Fuck you, America. We don't need your fucking asses. We can get it from somewhere else. So they do. So they call up Brazil, Argentina, and they're like, hey, you know what? We really need these soybeans. Can you sell it to us? We'll pay you more, you know? So the media gets a hold of it. The ag stations are like, oh my God, the price of corn is going to fall because there's not, you know, there's going to be a glut in the market. There's no glut on the market. There's no overabundance of corn and soybeans. The bushel count from last year ain't much different than the year before. It just isn't. So what did they do? They cut off Europe, England, the United Kingdom, wherever else. So here you go. What happened to Europe? What did they do? Where are they going to get their corn and soybeans for? Hey, USA. Brazil and Argentina just called and said they're canceling our order for corn and soybeans. We need to purchase some. Do you have any? Can you help? And they're like, sure, no problem. Then you get farmers like myself and other people around the country that have corn, soybeans. I don't have corn and soybeans, but there are people like me that have farmers that have corn and soybeans, wheat, barley, rye, whatever they're having. And they're like, holy fuck, China just canceled that order. I better sell now. So they get on the phone, they call their broker and like, hey, you know what? I'm going to forward contract a shit ton of beans and stuff this year right now for fall. So they get these huge orders for fall delivery. Well, what happens? Oh my God, everything's full because they didn't hold it back in their bins or whatever they did. They dumped it on the market, whether it's on paper or actually in the bins at, say, Purdue or Tyson or wherever else. Which it isn't. It's still in the bin at the farm because they'll hold you off on delivery dates, at least here on the East. So then what happens? Oh my God, it's just paper. You stupid bastards. You sold off your corn and your soybeans. You flooded the paper market. You're storing it for them for free for less money. When if you would have held it back in your bins, you'd be getting the money that you need as it's needed instead of, oh, shit. We flooded the market with beans, and there's still beans. They're still feeding pigs and chickens, for Christ's sakes. Oh, tax the hell out of tax the hell out of mega dairies. You know, that ain't going to work either. Because you know what? Walmart owns them now. So Walmart owns Dean Food. What is Walmart's business in Dean's Food? People like milk, eggs, butter, cheese, and that shit. So Walmart puts in grocery stores into their Wally world. And people are on their way home from work and they're like, hey, oh shit, I gotta go get milk. The corner store is a little expensive. It's like $3.45 a bushel, or a gallon of bushel, a gallon of milk. Drive down, but there's a Walmart right up the road here. So I go to Walmart and I gotta go to the back of the store. I gotta go through the clothing department. I gotta go through the gift card department, the candy department, and all these other departments just to get my gallon of milk. Well, that gallon of milk is $1.90 a gallon because Walmart knows that if you need that gallon of milk and we send you through the whole entire store to get that said gallon of milk or other products that you're going to buy from the grocery side of it, you might just swing your way through their cheap Chinese crap aisles and buy new underwear and bras or new shoes that wear out in 3 months because they're cheap Chinese made crap. Walmart's got it figured out. And that's it. Walmart knows how to get people to spend their money. So you got small dairies, and we don't want small dairies. We want the mega dairies where we can just get all our eggs in that basket. We can just go down to whatever it is, dairy farmer in Indiana out there. What do they call it? Fair Oaks Farm or whatever the hell that shit is out there, where they're milking with 5 72 cal carousel milking machines, you know, just cranking it right the hell out. Well, we don't need the 50 cow dairy. We don't need the 100 cow dairy. We don't need the 300 cow dairy anymore. And that's what happens. So there it is. Ag Talk in the Raw. Hope you enjoyed. I got to get to work. Hopefully I can shut this thing off. I don't know. Yeah.